Hello, friends. Let's talk about spiritual blockages. So, spiritual blockages, I mean, here are things that block your progress. So, how does these things manifest? Spiritual blockages manifest by, blocking things that you do. Let's say you know that you are working hard, but things doesn't seem to work out for you, or you do things with people and it works out for others, but it doesn't work for you. Where you notice these things is when you do things that requires extreme level of luck. That's when you notice it the most. Now remember, before I start talking about spiritual blockages are not the only thing that will stop things from working for you. Remember, I've talked about soul contract, where I said that anything that you have to manifest will have to go through your soul contract. So if you are doing something and it's not working for you, it might be blockages. It might still be that you're doing something that is not in alignment with your soul contract, and so on. So there are many ways in which you can get rid of spiritual blockages. But to do it properly, you have to do it through a structured spiritual systems. And secondly, you have to establish a connection with your guide. This structured spiritual systems will help you establish a connection with your guides. Now, there are many spiritual systems. There's the occult orders. The local spiritual system of your culture. Like if you are from the Igbo, you have the ordinary culture of the Igbos. You have the Ifa system of the Yorubas. You have the voodoo of the Haitis. A lot of them. So each of these spiritual systems has ways of finding out the particular blockages that you have in your life and their unique ways of dealing with them. Let's say you join an occult order. You know that these orders, they have like entities that understand this realm more, like that understand this realm more than humans, that feed them with information on how to manipulate their reality. So they could easily do a reading on you and then find out the blockages that you have and give you like the solutions, or these entities might help them to manipulate and clear these blockages from your life. But you must know that for these things to be effective, establishing a connection with your guide is key. Now, do you know that your ancestors are in the legion of your guides? So, and if your ancestors are part of your guides, what is the best way to connect to your ancestors? You connect to them through the spiritual system in which they practice. Now, I'm not here to preach to you to, go back to your root or whatever. I'm just here to give you information. At the end of the day, you have to use your brain. Now, some of you do not appreciate the fact that you are an African, like that you were born in Africa. Because, like, let's say you were born in America or UK, understand? For you to start, practicing these things, you have to trace your bloodline. Like, you have to trace your bloodline back to know where your ancestors came from. You want to know, like, if your ancestors are, the Igbo people of Nigeria, or the, Yoruba people of Nigeria, or the Ashanti people of Ghana, or the Zulu people of South Africa. Most of them, when they get these answers, now they are, less orishas in America, voodoo practitioners, native doctors, a lot. But most of them, when they, trace their bloodline and know where their ancestors came from, what they will do is, instead of like going to those ones in America, they will travel to the places in which these things are indigenous to them, just to get properly initiated into the spiritual system. But you that is born in Africa and you live in Africa, you don't have to do anything. All you just have to do is study these spiritual systems and start practicing. Then when you get into the spiritual system now, that is where they will do a reading on you, find out the blockage you have in your path, and then use their unique way of dealing with this blockage and clear them. And the advantage you have with the spiritual system of your culture is that most of them are vast. Like, let's take for instance the ordinary system of the Igbos. Ordinary spiritual system of the Igbos has astrology in it called Uzigwe. You know, and the popular 12 or 13 houses are all represented in it. So there are a lot of things you can do with these spiritual systems. So, and it has a lot of things in it. It has astrology, alchemy, high magic, low magic, witchcraft. A lot of things are all in some of these spiritual systems. So it's a very big advantage. Now, if you notice, I didn't talk about religion. So I'm not talking about religion here because I do not know if you can do it through religion. Can you go to your pastors and your pastor will pray for you and your blockages will clear? I do not know. So you have the information as usual. Do what you want with it. This is your friend Arenze, he whose name is known. See you in the next video.